This story is really a question. Since leaving Canada 23 years ago, I've sometimes felt like a long distance relative to my own country. I read the headlines, I follow the big moments. I still feel something stir when I see the maple leaf stitched onto a jersey. But daily life has a way of dulling immediacy. Work, school schedules, driving kids to practices, time zones that make live games feel like midnight dares. Sport, especially, has become something I orbit rather than inhabit. Growing up, I wasn't the hockey kid. Ironically, I once told my parents I wanted to play. They said yes, with one condition. Practices were at 5:30 a.m. I quickly reconsidered my life choices. Most of my friends played, though, so I hovered on the fringes. Not fully in, not fully out. A Canadian adjacent to Canada's game. Then the Olympics roll around every 4 years and pull you back in. We catch what we can, a race here, a final there. It's different abroad. The anthem sounds the same, but you're singing in a living room half a world away. We had just returned from a ski trip. Flight landed at 2 a.m. Saturday. Bags unpacked in a blur. School resumes Monday, and then we discover it. Canada versus USA. Gold medal game, Sunday night at 9 p.m., our usual bedtime. It should finish around 11 p.m. Alarm rings at 6 a.m. Not catastrophic, but not ideal either. First day back after break. Routines matter. Sleep matters. Belinda and I did the quiet parent math. National pride and shared memory versus well-rested teenagers who could watch highlights the next day. Connection versus caution. Spontaneity versus structure. The kids' good friends, the same crew we had just skied with, are hockey fans. Passionate ones. We weren't exactly raising diehards, but there was something about the moment. A gold medal game. Canada, USA, a pub down the road hosting it live. We decided to jump in with two skates on and sticks in our hands. 12 of us squeezed around a long wooden table in a pub filled almost entirely with Canadian supporters. Jerseys, flags, nervous laughter, only a couple brave souls in USA colors. It felt electric and slightly reckless. The puck dropped. USA scored first, 1-0 at the end of the first period. Canada equalized in the second, 1-1. There were high sticks and lost teeth. A double penalty, a 5-on-3 power play for Canada that had us standing. The pub roared with every shot, but the USA held firm. Full time, 1-1. Overtime. The tension was physical. No one was sitting. Every shift felt like it could tilt history. 1 minute and 41 seconds in, USA scored. It was sharp and sudden, like someone unplugged the room. The final shot count read 42-28 for Canada. We outshot them heavily, but the USA goalie was nearly unbeatable. Some nights, that's the story. It was midnight, the eve of the first day back to school. Two tired, emotionally wrung-out teenagers walking home beside us, energized by the experience, deflated by the result, already calculating how early 6 a.m. would feel. The week ahead wasn't light. Jamie had her first rehearsals for the middle school production. Jackson had Kahani dance dress rehearsals and performances. It wasn't just a regular week. It was a week that required sharpness. So, here's the question. Was that smart parenting? We gave them an experience, a table of friends, a packed pub, the swell of national pride, the sting of defeat, the lesson that sometimes you dominate statistically and still lose. The memory of standing shoulder to shoulder with your people, even if your people are thousands of miles from home. We also gave them 5 hours of sleep. We chose connection over caution. But is that wisdom or indulgence? When you live abroad, national moments feel amplified. They're rarer. You don't stumble into them, you seek them out. You manufacture proximity to home. Watching alone on a laptop isn't the same as chanting in a room full of accents that sound like yours. There's something about showing your kids where they're from, even when they're growing up somewhere else, about letting them feel that identity is portable, that supporting your country doesn't require geography. But does staying up late in a pub equate to meaningful patriotism? Or are we just justifying a fun night out with a flag? And what about resilience? Monday morning would test it. Tired legs at rehearsal? Heavy eyelids in math class? Is managing fatigue part of growing up, or did we simply make their week harder for the sake of a game? Smart parenting is often framed as optimism, proper sleep, balanced schedules, thoughtful boundaries, long-term thinking. But maybe there's another version, one that values shared emotion, one that says yes sometimes when the spreadsheet says no, one that understands that adolescence is as much about belonging as it is about performance. In that pub, there was no arguing between siblings, no gossip, just collective breath and collective groans, just laughter at the absurdity of sport, just Canadians abroad feeling briefly at home. At midnight, walking back under foreign streetlights, I wondered what would stick. The loss, the late night, or the memory of being together. Smart parenting, good connection time, national pride, sleep deprivation. Maybe it's not either or. Maybe it's the tension itself. Maybe raising kids, especially outside your home country, is about knowing when to guard their rest and when to let them feel something bigger than routine. We won't remember the exact shot count years from now, but I suspect we'll remember that night. Maybe that's the point. Or maybe I'll rethink it when the alarm rings at 6 a.m.